has development and technology changed the procedures in which football organizations have dealt with heat-related illnesses? So that's what it's...
That's the whole interview?
No, that's my question that I'm answering.
Oh, okay.
And the interview, I'm just going to give you a series of questions.
Say that's not 17 questions, or...
No. Okay. So how long have you been involved in football? It's like playing, coaching in total.
Oh, wow. Since 1988.
And how long have you been coaching?
26 years.
Do you know our current heat protocols that we go through?
Yes.
And what are they?
Basically, the training staff takes a wet bulb measurement every day before practice, and I believe they have to do it like every 30 minutes during practice. There's at least a portion of time they have to do it during practice, and wet bulb temperature is like a mixture of wind speed, humidity, actual temperature, and it comes up with a formula, a number. And then based on what number that is, it then allows us or disallows us to do certain things.
Sure. And is that the only technology that we use?
For heat-related illnesses?
Yes.
I would say yeah.
Yeah?
To detect it, yeah.
Okay.
That's all they do.
Sure.
That didn't even exist like 3 years ago.
Right. And so the past protocols, what were those have been? It's like 5-10 years ago, do you know?
There were almost none as it
None?
related to heat-related illnesses. Yeah, other than procedurally speaking, like water breaks per half hour. And it actually at that point was like whatever the temperature was. They would just take the base temperature outside.
Okay.
And then that would dictate whether or not you were, or how many water breaks you have to take per period. And then at one point the state instituted like a blanket. Every 30 minutes they gotta have this many, or at least 1 5-minute water break. We don't really have to do that because you have water available all the time.
Right.
So it really doesn't apply.
And there is no past technology that we used.
Not
This
that I
wet
know
bulb,
of.
the
wet bulb was the first thing that I've
Right.
heard of that, there were lightning detection.
sure, but that's
things.
not what we need.
No.
And more recently, so in the past, like 1 year to 5 years, would you say there's been a significant change?
Well, yeah, probably the last 3 years, 4 years. Also, and that was prompted by, I think, a lot of heat-related deaths. It's like something that, I don't know why it's a bigger thing that, I don't think there was anything 15 years ago.
Right.
We don't have technology, but I will tell you that there are some high schools, not here, but that actually have players wear.
They have the vests.
Yeah.
And then like monitors.
And it tells like what level of output
Right.
that they deal with and like what their core temperature is.
That's something that I'm going to in this as well.
I'm not really up on all that. We could never afford something like that.
Right. And are there better ways we can do this through a nutritional standpoint, or do you think it's...
Oh yeah, I think so. We have kids that struggle basically because they didn't drink enough water, they didn't eat during the day. So just basic level nutrition would eliminate probably a lot of the problems if people were hydrated enough.
Do you think even if like you guys and coaches say it, do you think it even matters because they just won't do it anyway?
Yeah, I think kids are going to do whatever
they want.
Some people listen to what's said in terms of that, but I think there are some people that just live their life and don't really pay attention to what anyone says.
Right. Can we right now do a better job dealing with these heat-related illnesses? Or do you think right now is the best we could do?
No, I think that you could have things like that are available that we can't afford. If you had those
Right.
kind of things, I think that you could deal with it, in a better way. But there's practicality issues as it relates to financial
Right.
constraints. We could supplement nutrition-wise for players 7th period every day at the beginning, but I can't afford that either.
Exactly. So it's all a matter of
it's almost
monetary.
always a matter of monetary constraints. If I had Gatorade buckets in here and said everybody has to drink a bottle of Gatorade before they go out today, I
Right.
think that would help the situation, but I don't have that.
So, currently per year, there's 9,372 heat-related illnesses recorded at the high school level. Do you believe this to be an issue that can be mitigated with our current solutions, or do we need more higher tech or more funding?
I think more funding. I think technology's there because it's a simple problem. I mean, it's just the technology's there. It's just a matter of, resources to implement some more of that and to supplement more.
Awesome. Now, going back to the deaths per year, there's 3 deaths per year on the high school level. Why, even like schools see this, but why do you think that they think the money is worth more than the child's life?
I think that people think it won't happen to them and they do what they have to do in terms of their protocol. And I think that, I wouldn't say it. They basically have situations that are, 3 per year is a low number, but it's still 3 more than you should have.
Right.
I think there's, I'm not even gonna say, maybe there's medical issues that were pre-existing that maybe weren't caught. 3's kind of, I would have thought it would have been more than that. You talking about nationwide?
Yeah,
Seems like it's a little bit low
it is.
because it's so hot outside. I would have thought there'd been more than that. I can remember years when there were 3 in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like a year, and some in the NFL dying. It's like
Exactly.
coaches sometimes want to push kids too hard too.
Right. So, you can.
College coach.
Okay, so these high heat temperatures will cause for less practices, and as more technology appears, it'll be more prevalent that you'd have to stop practices because of these.
Yeah.
Do you think that with more procedures that are added, that coaches will actually follow them, or do you think they just will just sweep it under the rug?
No, I think they should have to, right? Like
Right.
I don't even argue with those kind of things. Like when we're in a situation where he says, we're in orange, and you can only wear uppers, well then that's what we're gonna do.
Do you think all coaches follow that rule?
No, I don't. I think some coaches are kind of assholes, and they're very arrogant
Right.
until something happens. So yeah, I think some are, they don't respect
They just won't follow it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? If something happens, those people should be held legally accountable.
Of course. And lastly, from a coach's standpoint, how do you think we should deal with this issue?
From a coach's standpoint,
Yes.
I think we do okay in having a trainer I think there are places that don't have trainers who practice every day. And especially for every sport. I had a flag football season, I had to have a trainer there one time.
Really?
And now we get back to the fundability part of things. I think outside sports should at least have trainers at practices with water, with the ability to actually do things if they had medical emergencies. And we don't even have that here. Do you think there's a trainer at tennis practice or at flag football practice?
Is it only football?
It seems like it,
Yeah.
which I've never understood. Do you think there's a trainer out at track practices when those kids are pushing their guts
Yeah.
out? Inside, a little different. Air conditioned volleyball, basketball, things can happen though.
Yeah.
But if you have an AED, those are the kind of things that will happen inside. Is that you would need an AED for.
What about baseball? Do you think they have one of those? Do they have
No,
trainers?
there's no trainer out there for baseball. Now there is at games, but not
Yeah.
at practices.
There's games for volleyball too.
Yeah.
They just don't do anything.
They do it for the games, but
Right.
baseball, I don't know the amount of running they do, but nobody's at soccer practices. So when you think about all the outside practices, and soccer is during a time of the year where it's at least wintertime, so
Right.
you might have to look fall and spring or late spring, but think about summer. We have
Yeah.
mandated, allowed summer practices that no trainer is responsible to be there. And there are kids that don't bring water,
Mm-hmm.
that we don't have Gatorade available for, that we just don't have the funding to have. I think they need to have a trainer here for summer workouts, same as they do for,
And it's all because of funding?
everything's
Yeah.
money. Everything's money, yeah.
Okay.